Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Origins, quote-unquote, cartoon classics, He-Man and Beastman, based off how they appeared in the 1983, is it? 82 or 83? Can't remember exactly what year it started, but the iconic Filmation Masters of the Universe series, brought to us by fine folks over at, say it with me now, Mattel. And this is going to be a 2-for-1 because they are, at the end of the day, just Origins figures, despite the fact that they have a lot of new going on. So, with that being said, let's cut right to the chase and get into meat and taters of this review, starting off with the one thing that all Origins figures come with. A mini comic with the Filmation aesthetic going on there. And on the back, pop down this pamphlet, you can see the two figures there. Cool. We're looking at them both, so that's kind of pointless. It does come with a little pamphlet that shows you what comes apart and what doesn't. But if you are familiar with Origins, it's the same crap. It is the same exact thing, but not exactly. Not exactly exact, but it's pretty darn close. So, as far as accessories go, He-Man comes with his traditional power sword. Of course, this Filmation-inspired power sword. And then we also get this cool kind of, it looks like a skeleton warrior sword if you ask me, but an extra sword. I forget what it's called, but it's from the Filmation series. Disclaimer for those of you who are new to this channel, I am not the biggest Filmation Masters of the Universe fan. I don't think it holds up that well at all. And it's not because of the reused animation. Some of the characters and some of the stories are just dumb. Alright? We're not going to beat around the bush here. They're just dumb. That said, 2000X, as much as I love it, and as much as it is my Masters of the Universe, I grew up with it as a wee lad, it has campy crap in it too, alright? It's still Masters of the Universe at the end of the day. So, those of you who want to complain about Revelation, I get it, but it was probably the most mature and well-written Masters of the Universe, darn near anything we've ever gotten. Same with that CGI cartoon. There's a lot of depth in those shows. And they were a little bit darker than people give them credit for, but either way, we get two swords with He-Man. And then for Beastman, we get this contraption here. Some kind of projector, I think. I don't know. But we do get that. And then we get his whip. Still has a lousy string. I don't want a bendy wire or nothing, but can we get like better string or something? Like, ugh. I'm just not a fan of this, man. And then the end's kind of whatever. But there you go, Beastman's whip. I think it's almost exactly the same, if not the same, as the regular Origins Beastman's whip. But we'll look at that in a minute, because we are going to focus on Beastman here. Because this is my channel, and I like the bad guys more. And He-Man's got a little, I wouldn't even say it's a QC issue or anything. It's just a bit cumbersome to work with. But we'll talk about that in a minute here. Love the aesthetic, though. Looks just like a cartoon. And while it might not be my favorite, you know, they look like what they're supposed to. He looks like he came right out of the 80s cartoon. And the proportions on this body are pretty solid compared to some Origins, because it's all brand new. It's 100% new, head to toe, sculpt for Origins. Because these guys clock in at the 6-inch mark, as opposed to the 5.5-inch mark, I think is what the normal Origin scale is. And that's interesting, but since they are the Filmation-inspired designs, it's fine, I guess. So, as far as articulation goes, his head can look up and down as much as the armor will allow. So if we peel that back a little bit, it doesn't get a whole lot more. It does tilt side to side and look side to side. He does have hinges in the shoulders that go to a right angle. And then all the way down to the side, which is fantastic because the old Origins Beastman can't do that. As you notice, the torso is not at an angle in this section where the shoulder connects. So we get a forward and back rotation, and he's not punching himself in the face, at least not a lot. I will say if you move it too far one way, you're going to pop the arm off, but it's Origins, you can pop it back on. He's got a 90-degree bend just about in the elbow there. This was a swivel. Swiveling the wrist with a hinge. He does have a waist twist. It works fine. I will say the hips on my Beastman were tighter than crap. So you pop that out. You can kick out to the side fine. That's all fine and dandy. But forward and back, at least on mine initially, was super tight. Now I've put a little bit of soap in here, and you might even be able to see a little bit of it in there still, but I put a little bit of soap in there, and I used some heat to try and work those a little bit loose without loosening up the in and out, because the in and out on mine was fine, but the forward and back was just so tight. I wasn't worried about breaking anything, but I don't want to get carpal tunnel and or arthritis when I'm older, so screw all that. But he does have a swivel in the knee, as well as a hinge, and you get about 90 out of that. And then news to me, Beastman wore boots in Filmation. I thought he just had the bare legs and feet like the vintage figure did, but he does have a swivel in the boot there. And then the feet do hinge back and forward. It looks like he's got the wrap boots for the feet. I guess it's fine because it's just a foot, but it looks like they recycled the feet from the original Origins line. And that kind of sucks because these guys are a little bigger, so they need a little bit more platform to stand on. I think the hands are the same too. So their hands and feet come out looking a little bit undersized, which they already were undersized for the original Origins line, so that does kind of suck. But bringing in this Beastman, the OG Origins Beastman, with a much better head sculpt, courtesy of my good buddy Evil Villain, friend of the channel. You could see that the height difference, standing them like this guy definitely is taller. Not by a ton, because I think Beastman even is a bit of a bigger figure in this line. Get him to stand here. There we go. You could see you can make him kiss. But the new one is definitely taller than the old one. But the old one does have the sculpted fur detail, which I do like. He's got the weird, like, bare feet that look like shoes. And if we line the feet up, it's not the same foot sculpt, but yeah, I would say the new Beastman's got the old boot sculpt. So that's kind of weird. But there is the original Origins Beastman compared to the new one. And of course we can give the new one his whip. Put it in this hand, I guess. And he holds it like a freaking coffee mug, because that makes sense, right? But there you go. There's Beastman with his whip, ready to whip the crap out of some frickin' monkeys. We're acting up on Snake Mountain. Are there monkeys on Eternia? No, right? I mean, Beastman is kind of an ape man, but I don't know. That said, moving on to He-Man. See that, I will say the sculpts are softer on these guys. They don't have as much definition throughout the body, especially on like the belt and the harness here. His hair, like solid colors. Although on the show I thought he had the sculpted lines in the hair. He's got the, or the lines drawn in here, I should say. He's got the harness on the back with the sheath. And if we lift his arms up, you can see he's got the little tabs here. These have a tendency to pop out. I don't know what it is, but it seems like there should have been one more tab on there to help lock that in. But it is what it is. I do like this He-Man, though. Bringing in the old Origins He-Man here. This is the actual Wave 1 version with the battle armor head. It's not the retro head reissue. But you can see that this guy is a lot more squat in comparison. Again, you can make him kiss. But the new He-Man is definitely taller than the old one. That's for sure. And it does appear that he has the same boots. Maybe not the same shins, but the same feet. I think the feet, yes, the feet are exactly the same. So he's got the same little teeny feet and the same little teeny hands. He's got those little Kristen Wiig hands going on. So that's kind of unfortunate because I've never cared for the Origins hand sculpt because they got the thumbs up thing going on. When you try to put the sword in the hand, you can easily lose it if he falls over. Not just going to fall out now just to make me look stupid, but you know what I mean. I will say, his hips were not nearly as tight out of the box. They did work fine. At least I thought they did. What the crap? Well, they do work fine. They're just at this weird angle. And for some reason, they don't want to pop forward all the way now. They just want to make me look stupid, you know? That's how things go. When you hit record, everything goes to shiznit. So, that is the cartoon collection, He-Man and Beastman in a nutshell. Cool figures. I dig them. I'm looking forward to the Skeletor and Man-at-Arms whenever those come out for us normal folk who don't overpay for stuff on eBay. Ah, Jesus! So, with that being said, I guess, since we already kind of did some comparisons, we'll just bring in our two regulars, because it wouldn't be one of my videos without them. So here is the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11th Spawn, who as usual, towers over everyone, and is so big you can't even fit on screen. What the heck, man? Talk about real estate whore. So, with that being said, it's time now to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I may not be the biggest Filmation fan on the face of the planet and the first person to call me a hypocrite, I'm just going to tell you right now, they did my boys Clawful and Web store dirty in Filmation, so kiss my ass. Not to mention that compared to a lot of 80s cartoons, doesn't hold up that well. I mean, I love Transformers and G.I. Joe. I think we can all agree that Mask was pretty shit, though. So I guess I'll give Filmation He-Man the benefit of the doubt, especially in comparison to that. Or even Thundercats, which I also like, because I'm a big Rankin Bass fan. But at the end of the day, it's never been my cup of tea when it comes to Masters. I always liked 2000X. I always liked, you know, some of the more classic, you know, mini comic stories and whatnot and character designs, but Filmation just, it didn't do it for me. I tried to get into it numerous times and I just couldn't do it. Luckily, since I've grown up a bit, since high school, we'll say, I've checked out some deeper cuts and I do enjoy the series, but in small doses, and there's only like select episodes that I can stomach, alright? Because, again, some of the stories, some of the characters, and the writing and whatnot, it's dumb. So, if you are a fan of the Filmation series and a fan of the Origins series, then you're going to like these a lot. I liked Origins. I liked Filmation enough to own, you know, stuff from it, figures from it. So that's why I picked these up. These were fun, they're affordable, they look nice. They're going to look nice all together on a shelf, but I got to tell you, I think Skeletor, the Lord of Destruction himself, is going to be my favorite from this line when he eventually comes out. Fingers crossed that's sometime in the near to distant future, right? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you have a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. It is Christmas Eve as the time I am posting this after all. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.